Okay, so in this video what we have is the title American Writers. It's Supplement 1 Part 2, and when we try to test this particular portfolio, it doesn't open in Gale Cengage Virtual Reference Library. And the record that we have is only in the institution zone, and we need to link it to a community zone record. And so here I located the record that we want to link to in the community zone, and I'm going to click on activate. Activating is going to link it to our, I don't know that, activate activates it, and then we're going to apparently, I think, get a link to the institution zone or the network zone now that we've activated it. Yes, it gives you a link to your institution zone. So I'm going to click that, and this is the one that we just activated, and we're going to go to Edit Portfolio and look at the linking information. And previously the record that we had did not have the parser parameter B key, and so when we went to test access, that probably kept us from opening it up. So I'm going to test and see whether it works with the B key, and it does. And so we're going to go back to the record in Alma, hopefully. The next thing I'm going to do is see if it's in our Gale Cengage Virtual Reference Library collection, and this is giving you the collection ID number. So I'm going to put that on here. Let's see. For our local ones, the local stuff is going to be in the institution zone, but I don't think ours has the word Cengage. I think ours just says Gale Virtual Reference Library. Ours maybe does say that. So here's Gale Cengage Virtual Reference Library and the portfolio list. And the one that we just linked to is probably this one right here. So we could just go ahead and test it. That says Supplement 1. And we wanted Supplement 1 Part 2. And this is going to Supplement 1. Here it says choose a volume. So it's actually linking out to the Jane Addams Volume 1 instead of Part 2, which is the Vachel Lindsay. Although when you change it to Volume 2, it doesn't change this to say Supplement 1 Volume 2. It's still the same record. Let's see. This has Lindsay Vachel, James Russell Lowell. The first one has different people. I guess that's the only place they can link you to. So the one that we're working with is Supplement 1 Part 2. I don't actually see Supplement 1 Part 1 in our institution zone. I don't see it in the network zone, and I don't see it in the community zone, which is interesting, because you would think there would be a Part 1. If you put in Part 2, then you see the you see two different versions of this. The one that we looked at before is this one. The one that was in our institution zone. This is the one that's linked to the community zone, so we want to keep this one. And I'm going to want to get rid of the the first one. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. And now we have Supplement 1 Part 2 in our institution zone. This is the one linked to the community zone, so I know that the link is going to work. And if we look in our electronic collection, it should be showing up in that as well. I'm going to take the word Cengage out. For some reason, if you're searching the institution zone and you put in the word Cengage, it won't come up. If you take the word Cengage out, it will come up, and you can see that the word Cengage is actually part of the title, but you just can't get it to come up for some unknown reason. So we're going to open up the portfolio, and this is the one that we just added, so we see it's in there, and this one is actually linked to the community zone. And a lot of these aren't linked to the community zone. When it is linked to the community zone and you go to Edit Portfolio in Linking, you should see a parser parameter right here. And it'll say parser parameter, and it'll be taking this parser parameter shown right there and adding it to the end of the URL. If it's not linked to the community zone, then URL type static URL is probably selected. Sort of like history and dispute. History and dispute, we put in the URL manually, and so it's got a service parser parameter, but it doesn't have a parser parameter. If I had linked this one to the community zone, it would have filled in this B key right here, and we would select parser parameter, and you would see an icon on this page that had linked to the community zone. Whoops, it's this one right here. And they would maintain it, and as we just learned today, they would get around to upgrading the record maybe sometime, whenever that is, and they would be maintaining it for you. Okay, so our consensus is that what we're going to do is take this part out in 245, part 2, Vachel Lindsay to Eleanor Wiley, because in the community zone they don't have supplement 1 part 1, so we can't link to it, and the link is taking you to just supplement 1 where you can choose what volume you want to look at. So we're going to take this part 2 out because it's not relevant for us. So I'm going to go back to our portfolio page and search the community zone for this one, and it's right here, and we're going to go to let's see, we're going to open this up, and well, let's see there, how would I edit it? I'm in the community zone, and it says report to Ex Libris, resource sharing. Oddly, this one it doesn't say it's linked, so I guess I need to go to my institution zone, click on the icon to take me to the community zone. I see my link here. Now I can let's click on the, Lisa's pointing at the screen. I could just go to the institution zone, and editing in the institution zone. Well, I was going to try to edit in the community zone instead of the institution zone. I'm going to pause this. All right, what we think we discovered is that you can't edit directly in the community zone, and I'm going to walk through this again. So what we did is we searched for this particular portfolio, and in the community zone, if you're looking at it, you'll see it's linked to our institution zone. And when you click on the More Actions, you have a choice of Report to Ex Libris and Resource Sharing Requests, but you can't edit. If you click on the title link, instead of having a red button up here that says Edit, it just says Copy to Network. So we copied it to the network, and then we opened this up in the network, and we were able to get to the screen where we could edit. And here, just incidentally, this version of the portfolio is in Virtual Reference Library. This one is in another collection called Scribner Writers, and this one is in Literature Resource Center, just to make all that clear as mud. Same portfolio, 3 different collections. So we're going to go to the network zone, and we're going to look up this particular portfolio, and you'll see that well, you would if it would come up, but you'll see that we would have copied it. I'm going to pause this. Okay, here's a pro tip. If you are trying to find an electronic portfolio in the Network Zone tab, it's probably better to choose all titles and keywords, and you'll see if I put in the full thing, it pulls up stuff that's not Supplement 1 Part 2 because it wants to, but among all of your results you will see the one that you had just put in. But if you choose electronic portfolio and title, it probably won't pull anything up, even though you think that would work. So Network Zone, electronic portfolio, just do all title keyword, and you'll probably have more luck. That is my pro tip. So here you see that it's linked to our institution and it's linked to the community zone. And we can edit this by clicking on the title link, and then we have the edit button, and now we can go and take out the part we don't want in the 245 field. So we're going to go to well, I can just go right in here. I'm going to highlight the field, and I'm going to take out the offending part, and then do File, Save, and Release Record. And let me go ahead and release everything, and then we'll go look at it again. Okay, so this is still here after we logged out and logged back in, so it may take overnight before this gets removed.